Hey guys, it's Core Ross and welcome to the 6 News Roundup. Today we'll round up all the Rainbow Six news over the last week or so. So Ubisoft's Club is gone. It is going to be replaced by Ubisoft Connect, which is Ubisoft's way of interconnecting all their different games and platforms. This is going to bring cross-progression to new games, so Watch Dogs Legion and new Assassin's Creed and stuff like that, so you can continue progression on any platform you want. So you can log on your PS4, play it, and then if you want to go to your PC and play it, and you'll be able to, as long as you own it on both platforms, you'll actually be able to play the same save, which is pretty cool. Now this has got people pretty excited for the potential of cross-progression on Rainbow Six Siege, although it is pretty clear from the website that it says that it is new games only, but I do hope that Siege will eventually find its way in there, because it just makes sense that you be able to use all your items on any platform you want to play on. And it has, of course, reignited the idea of crossplay as well, although this is all about cross-progression. This has got nothing to do, as far as we know, with crossplay, so I don't expect crossplay to show up anytime soon. However, we did have that weird state of actually having text chat on console, which was really odd because of course it shouldn't be there, and it was there for a little bit, so it's possible maybe they are getting ready for it in the future, but for the moment there's no indications that they're going crossplay, and this cross progression is potentially not even going to hit Siege as well. There's also, of course, as usual from Ubisoft, there's a downside to all this, which has been an outage of Ubisoft Club for your rewards. So all those rewards that you got are gone for now until this new system starts up, then you can get them all again. But of course this is annoying because it just has suddenly unequipped all those items from your characters, so when they do return you're going to have to remember to go back in and re-equip them once they actually start back up with this new Ubisoft Connect thing. And of course, is it going to be smooth? Probably not. Now moving on from that, we have Rainbow Six Siege on Xbox Game Pass, and this allows you to actually play it on Android as well if you want through the Microsoft streaming app, so that is pretty damn cool. Now there's also another bonus to this. When it actually came out, we found out that if you own Xbox Game Pass, you get the unlimited version of the game, which means you actually get all the operators unlocked. I think the base ones you still have to buy, but they're cheap, very, very cheap. You actually get the rest of them for free. And assuming that this is a yearly thing, I wonder if you're going to get the new version basically of the unlimited edition every single year, and it might give you every single operator, and that would be amazing. You wouldn't have to buy a season pass and stuff like that. So yeah, this is definitely pretty good for new players who want to play the game and have Xbox Game Pass, but if players already have it and they don't actually have all the operators, you can get in there and get all the operators. Now, if you do unsubscribe later on, you will lose those operators that you didn't buy. But if you happen to have Xbox Game Pass for, say, playing other games, you now have a bonus with it as well, so that is really good. Moving on from that, we've got the Halloween event. So there's been all kinds of official leaks. We've seen plenty unofficial, but there's now been official leaks. So we got, I think the first one was Ubisoft Music put out an actual soundtrack, which gave us some artwork as well for it, which was this. And we've also had a post on the Ubisoft Club on Xbox as well, which gives a little description of the mode, which is: Frost is trapped in a nightmare, surrounded by the corpses of her sweet delights. Our hero dozes off, succumbing to her dwindling sugar rush. Check out the new Rainbow Six Siege with Respawn until November 10th. Now the feeling is that this was probably supposed to start up on Tuesday, but I think because the mid-season patch hasn't rolled out for all platforms, they've probably pushed it back a week. I'm kind of expecting this might start up on Tuesday, considering it says it ends November 10th, which is a Tuesday. I'm assuming it probably started on Tuesday. So it could start up on the 27th. I would imagine we might get like a teaser on the 26th for the event, if it is actually coming on the 27th, and it will run, if that's correct now, November 10th, although I wouldn't be surprised if they maybe push it out a week. Maybe it'll actually end November 17th perhaps, but we'll have to wait and see either way. So yeah, that is the new Halloween mode, and it's actually been on live servers a few times. People have actually got in and played it, and it seems to be kind of, I don't know if it's random or what, but people have been able to jump in and actually play a little bit of this new mode, which has respawn, so it's team deathmatch, but you drop candy, so your team try to pick up all the candy and take it back to, like, I guess your respawn. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if it works out. In some of the game mode gameplay I've already seen, it looks like spawn camping is a bit of an issue, so we'll see how this actually plays out, if it's a good mode or if it's going to be a pain in the ass. Because the thing is, they have to top the Halloween mode from last year, which was freaking amazing, and I don't think they're going to be able to do it. I know this is going to be quite as good. This is not going to be quite as scary as well. It sounds more like this is a fun mode with, respawns rather than it being a more of a horror mode, which is what we definitely got last time around. Now let's double back. I mentioned the fact that we got a patch this week. So PC got the mid-season balance patch on Tuesday. A couple of days later, the PS4 got it, and the Xbox is actually getting it next week, probably Tuesday. And this is a weird one because, of course, it's the mid-season balance and brings all the balance and changes, and it didn't have the Chanka rework, which was a really big surprise. Now, the developers, or at least the official word we've had from Rainbow Six, which hasn't been much, it's just been a few replies on Twitter saying, "Oh, we didn't actually say when the Chanka rework was coming out." So it's kind of like you were kind of implying that it was going to come with the mid-season patch. There was a whole reveal live stream, and it went on the test server. There's no indication that it wasn't coming with that patch. So it's been a bit odd that the fact that it's just not coming. Now, a lot of people are thinking it's probably just the concerns of him potentially being overpowered that they decided to maybe push it back. But it is important to know when it's coming. Like, is it coming sometime in the next couple of patches, or are we actually getting it next season? Because it would make sense to bring it next season, like, for Pro League and stuff like that. Not to have this reworked Chanka just show up in Pro League games would probably be smart, but it'd be nice to know what they actually plan to do with this rework. Like, is it supposed to be coming out soon or what? It's very unusual, and Ubisoft lately just seem to be, it's the same with this Ubisoft Connect and everything all coming out. They're very bad at communicating at all. Like, they're just not very smooth in their communication right now. Seems to be getting a little bit worse. But certainly no Chanka rework, and the patch coming out very staggered on different platforms. We've never seen the PS4 and the Xbox be separated by basically a week before, so that is odd. Now, talking about communication, let's take an actual rewind back to a tweet that we got with Golden Gun, which was this one here, which said, it said select mode, Golden Gun, then it had attrition locked, and then a question mark for something else. Now, the way I interpreted this is it was going to be Golden Gun, then maybe the next week we get attrition, then the week after that we get another arcade playlist, then maybe the Halloween event. But Golden Gun came out, and we got nothing since then, and of course now we're going to have the Halloween event. So going back to this tweet, like, is this literally talking about attrition coming next season then? Because that was kind of the worst case scenario I thought when I read this, that maybe attrition was actually next season, then the season after that we get a new playlist. Because what I would love, and this is how I'd love Rainbow Six Siege to be in the next year basically, is that when you have a season, you have a battle pass, and it runs for the entire season. You have an arcade playlist that comes out, say, every 2 weeks, whether it's Golden Gun, Attrition, or like Gun Game or something like that. And you have that come out every 2 weeks. Then, of course, you have a big event as well that pops up mid-season. That's what I would love to see from Siege. Just a real nice, kind of thick amount of content, which is quite consistent. And you wouldn't even have to develop new stuff for it, because you could have the Golden Gun event, you could have the Attrition, you could have all that stuff return. And then you could even still have some of the big events return if you needed to. But yeah, a big disappointment that this tweet didn't really lead to anything, and it looks like maybe attrition will be just next season. But moving away from that, let's talk about something that's more nice, which is brand new cosmetic, and that is for Alibi. Now, of course, every time a cosmetic comes out, people are like, oh, why would you buy a cosmetic for Alibi? It's because Alibi's cosmetics look freaking brilliant, that's why. And I really like this one. I've already bought the headgear. Now, the thing is, Alibi's hologram, I think people play it wrong. Like, they try to something, they try to replace the hologram and pretend to be the hologram. And it's not really the way she should be played. Now, I know that's her, her actual trailer was that. But the way she's supposed to be played, I think, is that you set up her holograms in positions where you think that there's going to be that twitchiness. Because there's great players out there who just flick around and shoot something when they hear something or they think there's someone going to be there. And that's when you want to trick someone with a hologram. Because, of course, people are going to drone out and find out that you are pretending to be a hologram, whether that hologram looks like you or not. And this cosmetic thing doesn't really matter to Alibi. Like, if you're a good Alibi player, you're not going to have to worry about cosmetics at all. So, yeah, I love this cosmetic for Alibi. She seems to get quite a lot of good cosmetics. And I'm looking forward to see what else she brings to the table in the future. Anyway, guys, that's all the news for Rainbow Six Siege this week. Let me know what you think of everything. And yeah, do you think we will finally get cross progression with Siege so we can actually use our cosmetics on any platform? Or do you think it's still just wishful thinking? Like, from reading the article, it does say only new games. So Siege is, of course, 5 years old at this point, which might mean it ain't going to get it ever. But we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.